Howdy do everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be building a wood fire rack from a company called Snugnature. And found them on Amazon. I can't remember the price right offhand, but I'm sure that I'll put it in right about here. It's a really nice heavy bracket. It's going to go up underneath of the end of the log racks. This is all the stuff it comes with. It comes with two end brackets, and then they show that you can actually fit multiples together to make big square bracket stands to hold lots heavy loads. I'm only going to use this for my little fire pit, which I only occasionally get to use around here, so I'm not going to be building a very big one. It works off a 2x4 system. 2x4s go in here, and they extend across, and they run to the next bracket, and they also extend vertically. It's got preset holes for all your screws. They send you with a nice baggie of screws, and I'll say these seem to be some pretty decent screws. They're matte black. Do I wish when I order an orange one they would come in orange? Yeah, sure. But you know what? The fact that they send you the hardware and they look like quality hardware sounds good to me. Now these are something that I found strange. I'm sure it's just to make sure that you don't have any wobble in your uprights, but this is a, let's see if I can get one out here for you guys. So this is some sort of PVC that wraps around on top of these as you fit your lumber in. How important this stuff is, I don't know, but they include it, and it looks like it's not pre-cut, but there should be ample enough for doing at least the vertical. Hey B, how you doing? At least enough for the vertical posts that you're going to be making. Don't mind me, just distracted by a bee. Alright, well, let's get to building, I suppose. Alright, let's work with the board that we know that we're going to use first. These are going to be the two boards that run along the bottom that might come into contact with the ground. So I wanted to use treated there. I just want to take this 8-footer and cut it in half, make it a 4-foot. Alright, now I gotta determine how tall I want this thing to be. Being only 4 foot wide, I think I want it to be about, oh, let's see here, 4 foot at the lowest, and I'm going to put a bit of a pitch on it because it's going to be outside. So maybe, let's do 4.5 and 5. That ought to do pretty good. Alright, time for the rough assembly. Because these are pretty loosey-goosey, oh boy. Alright, I'm going to grab the rubber and a knife to cut it with. Alright, so what I've got to cut this stuff with, this is a vinyl trim nipper. It's for doing trailer trim. So there's a metal part that goes around your trailer, and you insert this trim into it, and that's what these are for, which should work fairly good for cutting this rubber strip. I'm assuming you could probably just use any old razor knife to do that. But since I have a certain type of tool available to me, I'm going to go ahead and use it. So, let's see here. Lay this in here. Feeling for the edge of that other one, and then I'm just going to plunge the nipper on it. The reason I'm doing this right this second is because I'm not sure if there's going to be enough to like do these or not, so it's got me curious. So I'm going to go ahead and do all these. Alright, I did all 4 of these posts with this stuff, and this is what I'm left with. So I can presume, of course, that means that they don't really want us to use it for this. Now I'm going to add my uprights. We'll see how they fit with this rubber stuff in there. Doesn't look like it added that much into it, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, still pretty loose. I'm not entirely sure what the point of the rubber stuff is. And I am using 2x4s, so whatever. I'll just try and keep them as square as possible when I put them up. Well, I'm not super impressed with the fit of these because it's they're so loose, they're hard to get to keep straight. So as you can see, we're kind of all over the place here. So I'll have to take like a 4x4 or something and kind of straighten them at the top, I guess. Kind of pull them to where I want them to be. Alright. Alright. I admit defeat. This is starting to look pretty weak trying to put a roof on here, so I'm just going to hack these at 3 feet above this metal bracket, and hopefully it'll look fine as just a regular stand. But I'm sure what's going on up here is I can't get this stuff plumb because the fit is so loose on the bottom, and I am no professional carpenter. So I'm just gonna take and hack them out at this height, which is gonna be plenty of wood storage for me outside. And then I guess I'll just tarp it throughout the year. Alright, I'm gonna cut it. That at least looks better. So, as you can see, these boards aren't matching up, and it's because they're so loose you can't screw them in right. So whack them off at 3 foot tall. Now I'll go stack some lumber on them. Alright everybody, all in all, not a bad product, but I'll have to say, probably about 50% of the problems were my own, not this product's. I would have liked these to have fit better, and then I probably wouldn't have had such a time, and I probably would have been able to build that covered area over the top of these. I might still eventually. I do know that I may add chicken wire around the outside of these because I have a tendency to cut smaller pieces of lumber because I don't burn my fire pit really big. I don't make really big bonfires. And I also try and make it so that my fire will burn out in a reasonable amount of time because it is for outside of my house after all. And I don't spend a ton of time next to the fire pit like I'd like to. So I think that'll do it for me today. See what kind of trouble I can get into tomorrow. Later everybody.